We're going to get into the discovery of the week. And today we're discovering a very interesting organization. If you were following in the few minutes ago, Jifa mentioned earlier how that in times like this, there are not so many people who really look out for the most needy within our society. But this is definitely one of them. And Afi Antonio, Philomena Afi Antonio, has joined us on the set this morning. We're going to be looking at her foundation. Good morning, Afi.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good.
Okay. Now, of course, you are often in my seat. So this time now you get to sit on the other side.
I know.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about what started it all off. Why the Afi Antonio Foundation?
Okay. So I would say I started using social media. I will identify someone who needs help, and instead of just posting photos for likes and comments, I have a little following. So I'm like, why don't I use it to help people? So I started posting about it, and I was getting good feedback. Like people were sending money for me to help people. So I'm like, this is something I would want to do because I love helping people. And someone just said, why don't you register a foundation if that's what you want to do?
Yeah.
So then I decided to register the foundation, and here we are. My foundation was 3 in March.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Now, long before the foundation, you've been always helping people.
Yeah.
I think we actually became friends around 2013. Somewhere around 2012,
I don't even
2013.
remember. It's been a long time.
Yeah, it has. And
Yeah.
but I've always known you to be somebody who always had a heart towards helping people. What are some of the things that you've been able to do differently since you became a foundation? You know, in terms of what becoming a foundation, what has that done for your efforts?
Okay, so aside just doing it by my own without the foundation has given me some credibility.
Okay.
So because of that, the help comes a little faster. So I would say that has been the difference when I was doing it just by myself without any foundation. And after registering and also registering with social welfare, it's getting better as the day goes by. Yeah, it's just that it's been difficult reaching out to government and corporate bodies to support me. So it's always been.
Why do you think it's challenging? What feeling do you get?
I have no idea, but maybe because those who are ahead of us take money and squander it without using it for what they went in for. So most of them are reluctant to want to help other people, the genuine ones. So, and it's amazing that it's always those who are not genuine that gets, the support. I don't know what they go to tell them, like what they go saying. I don't know, maybe I should find out so that I can also be saying that. It's very challenging when it comes to raising funds. The most challenging project I took was the Blue Eyes girl, when we had to send her to South Africa for a cochlear implant. That fundraising took like over a year to have just part of the money.
Okay, so let's get into that story. Tell us about the Blue Eyed girl.
So she has a...
What's her name?
Chota.
Chota.
Yes.
Okay.
She has a condition called Waardenburg syndrome. It gives colored eyes.
Waardenburg?
Yes.
Okay, Waardenburg
it gives
syndrome.
Colored eyes, and sometimes the children have pigmentation on their skin, but she doesn't have the pigmentation. She has the colored eyes, and they can't hear nor talk.
Oh.
Yes. So the eyes are fine. She sees perfectly well. It's just that she can't hear and she can't talk. So she needs an implant called Cochlear that will be implanted in the ear with a hearing aid that will help her hear.
Okay.
And with speech therapy, she'll be able to talk.
Okay. Now, there's a report. Was it done by BBC?
Yes, BBC.
Okay. All right. So we'll take a look at the report, and we'll come back and we'll continue a conversation with Afi.
took us about a week. She wasn't opening her eyes. So I called people and asked, my dear, her eyes are still not open. What's happening? I was getting scared. Then one dawn, around 3 hours, breastfeeding her when she opened her eyes. She was looking at me intensely and I realized the eyes were blue. We confirmed that she had profound hearing loss, and with that one, even hearing aid for us to go for the plan. She's having purpose and we've gone through intensive tests for the eyes. The eyes are open. The only problem is the hearing. When I gave birth to her and she finally opened her eyes, I said, wow, this is super modern. My girl is going to be modern with this kind of eyes. Way before I even got to know that it was a challenge. And then we said, okay, we saw what Afi was doing with the autism kids, contacted her, that even though we have the dream of her becoming a model, she's a model, she can start from there. Then later I dawned on the fact that we can even use this.
All right, so that's a little bit of the report there on Choctaw. Now, so when you mentioned Cochlear, it's taking me back to my biochemistry days. So the Cochlear, for those who don't know, is actually what is responsible for hearing in the ear. There's a natural one that's there. And if it's damaged or is malfunctioning, then of course you need a replacement, an artificial replacement of that. That's where the nerve endings are, you know, for then helps with the hearing. Yeah. So you took about a year to raise the funds. Part of the funds.
Yes.
Okay. So how much did she need for the operation?
I think at that time we needed $57,000.
Okay. So it's quite an expensive operation.
Yeah. Yes. So we were able to raise part and we sent her. So she has one of the implants in one ear.
Okay.
We are still hoping to raise the rest of the funds for the second ear. And now, since I'm training her to be a model, we are trying to see if we can get some contracts for her and she'll be able to pay for her own cochlear implant for the second ear.
I see.
Yes. So
Okay, so that's another interesting dimension of what you do. Because now you're not just saying, sit still, we'll find the money for you, but it's like, let's go along together and let's raise money, you know. I know that you're also a model well, I don't know if you're still a model, but that's actually what you did for a larger part of your career. Why do you think this is so important for them that you're trying to help to also come along in the process of raising funds?
Someone once told me that those who are rich don't like just giving out their money. They want you to do something in return. So I think if we have the chance to be able to do something, to get paid for it, it's good than just going and asking for money, because I've been asking for money since, and I'm sure people get tired. Donor fatigue sets in. So this is in a way to, you know, let people know that it's not like we just love asking for money. We also would love to do something for money. So on her 5th birthday this year, we did a photo shoot which went viral, and I used some of the photos, you know, to promote the fact that she's now a model and she's available for jobs. So people should use her. If you sell children's outfits, shoes and all that, she's available to do that for something small, so she can save for her second cochlear implant.
Tell me about the emotional experience dealing with, I mean, we've seen her mother in the video there. Tell me about the emotional experience for you, first of all, with Choctaw, and then when you met her parents and that whole process.
Okay. I think Choctaw has grown into a beautiful girl. When I met her, the first time I saw her, I think her auntie's wedding, Actually, her auntie is a very good friend of mine. She was my maid of honor
Okay.
on my wedding day.
Okay.
And I didn't know her big sister had a daughter.
Okay.
So during her wedding, I was also a bridesmaid for her. And I saw the girl there. And we were all scared when we saw her eyes. That was the first time we were seeing her. And so later I was there, and the mom reached out to me, and I found out it was my friend's big sister's child.
Okay.
So she said she knows I raise funds for people, and she wants me to help with her daughter and all that. When I now met Chota, she didn't like going close to people. She'll be crying and all that. And I felt sad the way people were calling her a witch.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, even now, when I posted... Because she
of
has...
her eyes?
Yes, yes.
Wow.
They said, a lot of people said she's a witch. Even now...
That's how ignorant we are in
Exactly,
this society.
yes. Even if you post something, they won't read what you've posted. As soon as they see the photo, they just comment. It has been very difficult with her fundraising, I'll tell you. Like, the mom even gave up at a point. She got tired of people saying all sorts of things. They told us that we should take her to a sign language school. Why are we wasting time to raise money for her and all that? I'm like, if you're a mother and you have a child and you know your child has this sickness or illness and you think you can do anything and everything to help the child, you do it until you realize you've done everything and it's not working. So people are mean. People are very mean. Around that time, I was very emotional because there's a child who, she's so sweet. She knows nothing. Like, even her new photo shoot we did, we still have people calling her a witch.
Wow.
Yes, yes. So that's the very difficult part. But aside that, she's now growing to like people. She goes close to people. Like, our last photo shoot last month was fun, like, and you could see from the photos. Yeah. Yeah.
Fantastic. I think we need to do more within our society to deal with this issue of anything that we don't understand, we attribute to witches
Witchcraft,
and witchcraft.
Yes. River children, just like children living with autism, they also have the same issues surrounding them, the stigma. They are witches, their parents, they've done something, that's why God has punished them with children like that. They are river children, a whole lot of, myths surrounding them.
Yeah.
But they are so, like, they are intelligent people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody are normal human beings.
Exactly.
So,
it's just the interaction, You have a 14-year-old child who has autism acting like a 4-year-old.
It's a development challenge.
Yes. So I think that education is not really gone down well. So we are still trying to do that. I'm still trying to push inclusion, and I'm putting together Mr. and Miss Autism Ghana this year, which hopefully will happen in June. So it's all...
So you work with autistic children as well?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And you are the first person that took photos of Nanaya. Remember when the mom reached out?
I cannot forget.
The photos went viral, and that's how the autism project started. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about Solar for Girls. Tell us all about that, because that's also part of what you do.
Yeah. So Solar for Girls is a project where I raise funds to buy solar lamps for final GHS students in off-grid communities without electricity. When we come to Accra, we have good teachers, we have light, we have everything, books and all that. But those out there, when even we post teachers there, they don't want to stay there.
Don't want to stay there.
Yeah, they go and they come back, and they don't have books. They lack so many things, and they write the same exams as the children here in the city. So I'm like,
it's so unfair.
Yeah. Very. So I'm
unfair.
like, what can we also do to help? That's how come we came up with the Solar for Girls project. We buy solar lamps and give to the children, the final year GHS students, so that they'll be able to learn extra hours at night to, catch up. And this project, if I tell you the stress I've been through just to raise funds for the solar lamps, I remember I went to one MP. We're going to his constituency. And so I said, let me use that opportunity to talk to him and see if he would want to support us so we can buy more solar lamps. Sometimes we go and we need, like 30 people need solar lamps and we're able to buy only 20. So we can't give everyone who needs it.
Wow.
Yeah. So I managed to track him.
I mean, it must be difficult. How do you even decide who to give it to?
It's
when
very very difficult. So we just tell them we'll be back.
Yeah.
That's the assurance we give them.
Yeah.
So I went to meet this MP and I discussed everything with him and he was like, if he has anything for his people, he will go and give it to them himself. So he doesn't see why he should give it to someone else to go and give. And I'm like, oh, Honorable, maybe you've not thought about this. So since we are doing it, when we go, we'll tell them you gave it to us.
Exactly.
And we'll have videos and everything to show, prove that we did that. He still insisted. And the amazing thing he said was, with his constituency, they will have lights maybe in the next 3 years because they've started erecting poles. But there's this village behind his constituency. He's not sure they'll have lights now, so we should send it there. That was what he told me.
Wow.
And when I was leaving, he gave me 40 cedis for transport.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he calls himself honorable.
Yes.
Wow.
But we still went to his constituency because that's where we had done our, research that they needed it. So, and we've already gone there to tell them we'll be coming. So we couldn't just take it to any other place.
Your word. It's important.
Yeah, and it has been on hold for some time now because of sponsorship. We've not been able to raise money to buy the lamps. So it's been on hold.
So tell us a little bit about, okay, so we've got, you're helping the kids who have physical challenges, birth challenges, really. I mean, the congenital. Then you're doing solar for girls. What else are you, what does as a foundation involve?
Okay, so we also do women empowerment. We did one in December last year in Angloga, my mom's hometown. Okay. Yeah, so we went there to empower single mothers, girls who have dropped out of school, widows, and disabled women. So we taught them how to make soap, beads, makeup, so that they'll be able to be self-sufficient, to be able to do something for themselves. So we are planning to do another this year, and we also do free health outreaches. We did one in Cape Coast last year in December, and we got some people donating blood. We did some donations. We gave out some medications. We had doctors there who checked them and all that. We've been doing a lot. I sometimes forget some of the things I do. And I also try to help children with hydrocephalus, the waterhead babies. And one died on me, which was very unfortunate. We were just about having the surgery and she died. She was only 7 weeks old. And that was very emotional because I had to be there for the mom and the grandmom. They were coming all the way from Ho. So we had to bury the baby here and all that before they left. And I had to enter the mortuary my first time because I was asked to be the one to identify the baby. And the mom will see her when
How did you feel? When you, Afi, just take us into those moments. When you walked in and you saw her and you realized this is her, how did you feel?
David, when I lost my big sister, I never entered the mortuary. But this I had to because the lady said, I am the one who have to identify the baby. And when I was going, I was just praying in my head. You know this myth that there are spirits hovering around the mortuary, and if you are not strong enough, some can enter you. I was just making the sign of, Lord Jesus, please don't let any spirit enter me, please, please. And when I entered, I just froze because there was another body that was wrapped on a slab. I think they were coming to bath their body or something, and they brought the baby out. And the woman was like, so Nini? I'm like, yes. Okay, so we'll bath her and everything, and then we'll send her to the cemetery and all that. I said, okay. It was very scary. It was very... I couldn't cry because I had to be strong for the mother. And when it was time for the mother to say something to the baby before we send her to the cemetery, the woman called her to pray for her, give her a message, and that's the last time she'll see her. The girl says she can't enter the mortuary. And she's only 22 years, the mother of the baby. Yes.
Wow.
So
That must have been difficult.
Very difficult.
What are you currently working on?
Currently,
what's your latest? Because you're always working on something. What's the latest? What are you working on?
So currently, I just finished working on another hydrocephalus baby. The doctor said it's too late for anything to be done. So the baby has to go home. The mom has to wait for the baby to die.
They're not going to wait. They're not going to do the operation?
Nothing can be done because it's too late.
Wow.
The brain left is very tiny and the head is full of water. So nothing can be done to save the baby. And I just received another case, a boy who has some kind of sore at the bum and needs surgery. I'm now doing my investigations to be sure it's true, because you never know, someone may be lying. So that will be my next project. But the major project now is the Mr. and Miss Autism Ghana. That will happen in June, God willing.
What are your social media handles for people who want to reach out to you?
Okay, it's at Afi Antonio on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everywhere at Afi Antonio. Yes.
Wow. We've been speaking with Afi Antonio, who is the Goodwill Ambassador, Global Goodwill Ambassador for the Afi Antonio Foundation.